Hey guys, so I'm back with another video. So as you guys can see, I'm going to be starting off with a regular 1B neutral colored wig. This is a bob that I cut myself, but let's just go ahead and jump into it. So as you guys can see, I'm using regular aluminum foil, and I'm just going to start cutting that and making it small enough to fit what I feel like this hair length is. Honestly, this part is totally optional. You don't have to do this part, but this is what I did. So secondly, I just want to go ahead and show you guys the type of bleach that I decided to use, and I'm showing you these small packs, but best believe I use way more than this. So you're also going to need a mixing bowl, of course, your bleach, your developer, a brush to paint on the bleach onto your hair. So I'm showing you guys right now, I'm using this developer. I will have all of this stuff in the description box down below, but I'm just going to really eyeball everything. All the measurements is not no specific measurements that I went by. Maybe there is a specific one you're supposed to go by, but I didn't do that. I just kept mixing and pouring until I felt like it was a good consistency. You don't want it to be too runny, and you don't want it to be too like cakey. So just try to, go by your eye and figure out how you want it for yourself. So like I mentioned, you're going to be using way more than just those small packets. I ended up using like 3 of those packs in an 8-ounce tub of bleach. So it's actually a lot more than I thought. So just beware of that. Make sure you have all the right supplies and the right amounts. And while we're here, I just want to go ahead and tell you guys, I started off on some dry hair. The hair is not washed, but it's very dry. You should not do this on wet hair. So that's just a tip. So now I'm just going to go ahead and gently detangle the hair. You don't want there to be any tangles in it while you're bleaching it. And then I'm also going to section it off, and I'm just going to use rubber bands. You can use clips, but that's just what I had on hand. And just so you guys know, this is my very first time bleaching a full unit like this. So I'm going to make a lot of mistakes in this video, but I'm also going to show you guys how I fix them. So the first thing I would say do not do is section your hair the way that I did, and do not start bleaching it the way that I did. As you guys can see, I started at the top and I worked my way down. But what I failed to do was continue all the way down. So I just started all the way at the top, kept focusing mainly on the top instead of the ends of the hair, and that's what's going to cause an ombre effect. I was not thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just thinking like, if you put all the blonde at the top, all the bleach at the top, then all of that would be the same color. So I wanted all of that to be the same color, but I forgot to bring it all the way down. So that's definitely a rookie mistake, and next time I do it, I definitely won't do it that way. But throughout the video, I will show you kind of how I fixed that problem. But other than that, the concept of actually bleaching the hair is very simple. What you want to do is just get some bleach on your brush. Make sure you get a generous amount, and you're going to go, you can either go from the ends to the root, or you can go from the root to the ends. It just depends on what look you're going for, but make sure that you coat every single strand evenly. If you want an even bleach, like if you want ombre, you can do that. But if not, you want to get every single strand, and you want to make sure you comb it through the hair, because if you don't, you're going to be left with a lot of brown spots, and that's something that you do not want. That's something that I did end up with, and I had to fix it. So you guys just avoid everything that I did wrong and just listen to my tips, and you will really make it easier on yourself. So as you guys can see, I'm like combing it through and making sure that I get every single strand of hair, because that's like the most important part. So now you guys see me putting foil at the ends of the hair. I only do that a few times throughout this video, and then I just say forget it, because honestly it's not really needed. And then like, I don't know, it was just too much for me. I was already trying to, master my first time bleaching hair, and I did not feel like going through the process of putting all the aluminum foil on every strand of hair. So I did not do that. You can do it if you want to, but it's definitely your choice. So I'm just going to continue doing the same exact steps over and over again. So hopefully this visual is helpful for you guys. So just keep watching. See, y'all see how I'm focusing on only this side, and I'm putting the foil and everything. That's great. But y'all see all this bleach on the top of it on the other side where I didn't take all the way down. That's what you don't want to do. And you guys, I also want to say, this is so much more work than I thought it was going to be. I was here for hours and hours doing this hair, like, because I didn't realize you really have to go strand by strand. Like, I just didn't think this whole thing all the way through. So make sure you have enough time to do all of this. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but not only am I coating the top of the strand, but I'm going to also lift it up and do the underside of it as well, just to make sure you get every strand of hair. If you don't do it this way, the bottom gonna be brown and the top gonna be blonde. So all in all, this process is just like really tedious and repetitive. So once you get it down packed for the first few strands or sections of hair, you really got it. It's just you got to stay consistent and stay thorough. Like you will end up getting lazy, because I know I did, and you'll just end up having to go back through it. But overall, like the actual act of bleaching hair is not hard. It's just you got to have a whole lot of patience. And honestly, if I can go back and redo it, what I would do is start from the back and work my way up to the front, just because it will be a lot easier on me when it comes to sectioning the hair. Another thing I wouldn't do is I would not start at the roots. I would start at the ends and work my way up. That's what I would do if I could redo it. Okay. Okay, so now that I have magically bleached all of the hair in 1 second, this is the outcome. Mind you guys, right here is the point where I realized I ran out of bleach. So it still kind of looks dry, but I'm gonna go to the store and get some more bleach and start back on it. As you guys can see, I have a lot of brown streaks still left in it, but I'm gonna go back through and be very tedious with it and go strand by strand, starting from the back like I should have done. And I'm going to basically re-bleach it. I didn't want to rinse the bleach out and then bleach it, because I feel like that would over process the hair. So I just added more bleach back on top, and as you guys can see, the color is coming out better. Like it's looking way more blonde than it was before. And just another tip, if nobody ever told you, when you're going from a really dark color like I had before to blonde, it is unavoidable. You are going to have a lot of brassy tones in your hair. It's not going to come out perfect the very first time you do it. I don't know, maybe some professional hairstylists can tell me why, but whenever you're doing it, it's going to be very brassy. So you need to prepare yourself for that, and you need to go ahead in advance and get you some toner. Now, it doesn't really matter, I guess you could say, what toner you want to get. Everyone has a preference, but I will be showing you guys which toner that I use. And one thing I do not show is every time I wash this hair, I use the purple Shimmer Lights shampoo. I will leave the name of that down below in the description box, but just keep all of that in mind. Like, the hair is still going to get bleached, of course, but it's going to be very brassy when you rinse out all the bleach. So as you can see, the first time I bleached the hair, I was not that thorough, so I have a lot of brown pieces left that really didn't lift all the way. So that's really what I'm going back and focusing on. A lot of the pieces did get very bleached and very blonde, so I was cool with that. But for the pieces that weren't, I wanted to go back and try to even everything out. Of course, I'm not a professional, so my hair did not come out all one tone like I would have loved for it to do, but this is really going to cut back on the amount of different shades you have in your hair if you go back and re-bleach it. Like you guys can see, it was very brown still, and I did not want that, so that's why I went back and I added more bleach. And plus I had ran out, so like I said, make sure you have enough from the jump, because that will really cut back on a lot of time as well. So now that I've pretty much combed everything through, I'm just going back over the top and I'm looking for any dark pieces, and I'm just adding some more bleach to it. That's what I chose to do. You can choose to do it a different way if you want to, but I'm just showing you guys how I did it. Another thing is, you guys are probably wondering how long I've left this bleach on here. It's probably been on here for about 45 minutes at this point. That's a long time, but y'all, I had to do what I had to do. And so now you guys are looking at it, and it's probably been well over an hour. Like, I don't have specific time like timestamps of how long I left it on. But really, when it comes to doing your own hair, you really just want to have to eyeball everything and just keep your eye on it. If you want it to be this light, you will visually see how long it took to get it this light, if that makes sense. Also, the developer that you chose is going to play a big role. I used a 40 developer and I also used a 20. So maybe that's why my hair didn't come out so evenly, because the different bleach levels. But you guys, however light you want it to be, you're just going to have to sit and wait. I really don't know the exact amount of time. And some people might say I left it on for too long, but this is just what I felt like I had to do for my hair. Okay, you guys, so I've already shampooed the hair with the Shimmer Lights shampoo, and this is how everything is looking. Yes, looks can be deceiving, but I'm going to show you guys how to turn everything around and to tone your hair. So this is the toner that I choose to use, and it is the T14 one, not T18, because I learned that the difference is the T18, your hair has to be bleached to a higher level before you can really use that to make any difference. The T14 works on darker hair. So I have 2 bottles of the T14. I'm going to be ended up using both, and you're going to mix that with your developer, and you're going to basically put it all over your hair like you did the bleach. Since this was my first time, I didn't really know that you were supposed to do that, so I kind of just put it on there really messily. I'm sitting here thinking like it's kind of similar to the shampoo, but it's really not. You really got to be tedious with this as well if you want a big payoff. So as you guys can see in this video, I'm just kind of putting it everywhere. But in another clip, I went back and I just was very thorough with it. I didn't show that too because that was just so repetitive, but keep that in mind. You have to be very tedious with this part as well. Another thing I would like to point out, I don't know if you guys can tell because this clip got a little blurry, but as you guys can hopefully see, there are a lot of dark ends versus the roots. This is why I suggest you start at the roots and work your way up to the, I suggest you start at the ends and work your way up to the roots, because otherwise you have this backwards ombre effect. The toner is definitely going to help a whole lot, but if you were to just do it the correct way in the beginning, you wouldn't have to deal with that like I did. So as you guys can see, the ends are pretty dark, the roots are pretty light, and everything is just a brassy mess, but give it a minute. So I ended up leaving this toner on there for a long time the second time around. So this is the first time. The second time I didn't show you guys, but the second time I left it on there for over an hour, because if you really want to get the brassiness away and you're really going for a more natural blonde, then I suggest you do that, because otherwise it's going to be very yellow, very orange, and you don't want that. So some final things I want to tell you guys is, listen, when you're doing this process, just because you're using the toner, you still should have on gloves. I was totally wrong for not doing that, so do not follow me. Another thing is, like I said, I left the toner on for well over an hour. It depends on how light you want your hair to turn. I ended up rinsing it out with the Shimmer Light shampoo, like I said, and I leave that on there for a good minute as well, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. After that, I rinse everything out, I blow dry, I style. So this is really the last step, this in the shampoo. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I know I had a lot of ups and downs and trial and error, but I want to show you guys my final result. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This is my first time doing a video like this where I really showed you guys step by step how to do anything like this. So bear with me, it was my first time, but I love you guys so much. I wanted to show you guys how I did it because I got so many freaking questions. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. And if you guys want to see a styling video on this and how I installed this unit, then stay tuned because there will be one coming soon, okay? Love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.